It's a new all-time high that we have on the Nifty, and this is a moment which you should celebrate, but also tell yourself that it was just 3 months back that the market was at 10,500. There were calls of bear market.
Markets had almost an 8% rally from the lows. So it's a fairly sharp rally that has taken place. So I would be cautious. But I think long-term, the fundamentals remain, what we want.
What we will see is a bit of catch-ups in the broader space of the market. And I think that is very, very important to keep the rally more sustainable and give it a bit of a firm footing.
I would say that the fundamentals, both in India and globally for India, are improving. I think the US pause on the Fed hike was a big catalyst.
What I'm not so convinced about is the merits of buying the Nifty. Whether I look at the last 5 years, the last 10 years, buying the Nifty has not been a particularly clever idea in India.
Markets start rallying early in 2019, essentially discounting a change in policy. And there has been a profound change in policy by central banks around the world.
Well, that's been the day, and that all-time high on the Nifty has been conquered. However, since then, profit-taking. And we're looking at some red on the screen right now. This is closing bell. I'm here with you, Surabhi Upadhyay, and in the next couple of seconds, we'll have Anuj also in the house as always. A profit-taking day, perhaps one will say that not entirely surprising. You've touched that lofty level, and that happened right after the opening. So for what it's worth, the bulls managed to conquer that mark. And since then, there's been just money being taken off the table. So if you look out for the weakest links, some of them are sort of very evident trades. For instance, what's happening to oil marketing companies, 68, 69 on Brent. So that was anyway something that was expected. Some more selling on a couple of the banks. Like a State Bank of India, you've got some of the IT big boys like Infosys that have also been trending down, Reliance. Essentially, the entire part of the market that's moved up so dramatically, there's just some money coming off the table. Anuj is with us as well now. Anuj, so for what it's worth, that level has been conquered.
Yeah.
Right now, we're at the day's low. How would you read, today's action?
Easy to say, not surprising, but the market has this habit of, going to a particular level and then seeing a bit of a slip. Right now, I don't want to read too much into that. I think the fact that the SkyMed came out and said that, the monsoon is going to be below estimate will be used as a headline and will be used as an excuse for the market decline over the last half an hour. But there's a difference between correlation and causation. So, that's a bit of a correlation. It sort of just happened. The market needed some trigger, perhaps. It was lofty. It needed to correct a bit. Tomorrow is policy. Perhaps the market makes a bit of a move and then corrects a bit more once again. But if you're asking me, is this the termination of the move? I think that's not. It's just some profit taking after a big move, Surabhi. The only thing is this mid-cap underperformance is a bit perplexing to me because, the outperformance had just started. So I would have expected that to continue for some more time, the outperformance. That hasn't happened, but it's okay. Let's see how things move tomorrow. For tomorrow's policy is very interesting because now the market's priced in a dovish policy. It's priced in a rate cut. It's priced in a dovish stance. The only thing left to be priced in is perhaps a 50 basis point rate cut. That's the only thing which is not priced in. Rest everything else is priced in. But NBFCs are still doing well, so that trade perhaps is still on. Let's see how the last hour pans out. But it should not surprise you that after such a big run, the market's seen some profit taken. Oh,
absolutely. And even this monsoon forecast of a below normal monsoon, it's nothing new. This has been doing the rounds in the market. It's been reported widely as well. We know there's an El Nino phenomena. So it didn't come sort of as a bolt from the blue for the bulls. Profit taking is what we have on the screen. Let's get started. Here's what's lined up on closing bell today. The market hits a record high, but then fails to hold on to those morning levels. Is this a pre-election euphoria rally? Can the market, in fact, sustain and build on those gains? Well, those are the kind of conversations you'll hear on closing bell, some of the big market voices that you've heard through the day. And, of course, we will also have N. Jaykumar of Prime Securities weighing in on this conversation in just a bit. One stock in focus on the show today is Amara Raja. It's a move lower on news that the shareholder agreement between Johnson Control and the Galla family has been terminated. What does that mean for the shareholding? So that's something that we will talk about. We'll be discussing a lot of these trends with the experts as well. SP Tulsian of sptulsian.com, Amrish Baliga, and IIFL's Abhimanyu Sofat. Speaking of market views, Shiv Diwan, co-head of institutional equities at Edelweiss Securities, joins in. They're still very circumspect on the auto space, being very selective and careful in that part of the market. So we get chatting with Shiv a little ahead on the show. And then, of course, technical advice and trading ideas coming your way with Ashwini Gujral and Mitesh Thakkar.
Okay, how should you position yourself in this last hour of trade? We have Ashwini and Mitesh now joining us with closing strategies. Good afternoon. Ashwini, your thoughts? As we speak, the index is at the low point of the day. Thoughts on index and your stock calls?
Well, you know, the index basically is off 50, 70 points. So my sense is that maybe tomorrow, before the policy, etc., you may again find the index going up, because a lot of the long positions could have been taken out. So that way, you know, if I have to take a position for the final hour or final hour plus 1 hour tomorrow, it would be long positions on the Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, because I would expect that maybe there is a bit more rally and kind of a double top type formation that comes into the picture. But keep your volumes low and understand that this is a BTST type of trade. Having said that, BPCL is a sell with a stop of 371, target of 355. JSPL is a sell with a stop of 188, target of 175. And REC is a buy with a stop of 147, target of 161.
Okay, yes, those oil marketing companies under pressure today as crude oil prices are again elevated around the $69 a barrel mark. Let's go across to Mitesh as well and get his sense on today's trading action. Good afternoon to you, Mitesh. So, yes, there's some nervousness. I mean, there's some profit taking, and why not? The question is, on the index, would you now look at buying this dip now that the event is out of the way? And, of course, what about individual stocks?
Good afternoon. I think not yet. One, the first pivot is around 11,625 on the intraday chart. So we are still about 50 points away from that. And my sense that we might even test 11,550. So I've been saying this much, that getting close to all-time highs, the idea should be to keep on reducing long positions. That's what we have been doing. And hardly left with any longs now. And I think, you know, after a good rally with a lot of overbought readings on the intraday and the short-term charts, the chances are that you will see profit booking and consolidation before you get the strength to, you know, get past all-time highs with, the breakout which happens after consolidation will have much more strength compared to a direct continuation of this run, and then it could have had danger of failing out. So my sense is that we are in for a few days of sideways action. Given that, I think I would look at 11,625 and 11,550 as two levels too, as the support areas on index. I have two calls. One is sell on Amara Raja batteries with a stop at 686 for targets of 645, and Castrol is a buy with a stop at 167 for targets of 178.
Okay, so Castrol is a buy and Amara Raja is a sell. In fact, a lot of people selling Amara Raja today. It's down about 7%, as we just told you. Day is low. Now, what seems to be happening, Anuj, is that they had a technology agreement with Johnson, right? Now, that is getting terminated. But why so much of a sell down? Is there a risk of some kind of shareholding change as well?
That will happen. The stocks recovered, though, from the low point, 4% almost from the low point. You know, that's also not surprising, because, you know, at some point value investors will come in and want to buy. Look, my limited understanding is the stocks falling, of course, because there's uncertainty over what happens to the remaining stake of Johnson Controls. Of 26, 2% is going to the Galla family. What about the rest 24%? I think this sort of, while, you know, Johnson may have informed earlier about something like this, from Amara Raja's point of view, I don't think there was enough guidance about this to the market, and that's something the market doesn't like. And the fact that because the stock, it always trades at expensive valuation, but you know, after this termination, does the company still have technology to sort of continue with its earnings? That's the reason. So that's why, you know, as I said, perhaps it trades at expensive valuations as well. That's the other reason that, you know, you're seeing this kind of move. Whether it's a buying opportunity or not, I think the two or three things. The management needs to allay the fears of this Johnson Controls stake. You know, when will that happen? Who will buy that? and it needs to guide on technology as well. At some point, I think the value buyer will come in. In fact, on that, we have SP Tulsian of sptulsian.com joining us, and of course, Amrish Palika also joining us. Good afternoon. Mr. Tulsian, your thoughts first on Amara Raja. The stock went down about 10%, has recovered a bit from the low point.
Anuj, actually, we have in fact about maybe 15 minutes back, we have given a buy call on the stock at 660, and we continue to have the same positive bias because there is irrational pessimism, seen building up. If you just quickly, you have narrated the history or the background in which the Johnson Control is exiting. Now see, Johnson Control and Galla family both are holding 26%. 2% of that will come to Galla family. That means they have made the new buyer, who has bought the power solution business of Johnson Control at the parent company level, at the global level, will be having 24% stake. Now that buyer is not going to come and dump the stock on a one day. And even if that comes, he will not come and sit on and sell in the market on every day. He will find some buyer, or that selling is unlikely to happen. Now come on the technology part. As far as the company goes, for their existing battery business, they are which are based on the conventional battery on the lead, they are already very much having acquired the technological competence, and I don't think that there is any problem. Now come on the electric vehicle. In fact, that's a future on which Exide and Amara Raja both are seen working very hard. Probably there may be some understanding where the Amara Raja wanting some electric vehicle battery manufacturer from the global space to come and join the company to assist them, because that's a new area where this thing, so it should not be taken as negative. Come on the financial performance, they have all been consistently posting good numbers, better than Exide on their core business. Even if you take a call on the 30 rupees EPS for FY 19 and 20, the share is ruling at a P multiple of maybe 21, 22 now. And it has always conventionally ruled at a P multiple of 26, 27, 28 plus. You cannot call it just as an ordinary auto ancillary stock, because both Exide and Amara Raja are ruling practically at the same valuation multiple. So yes, we are extremely positive. In fact, sometimes this irrational pessimism, seen getting built up, is giving a buying opportunity. So if you have a view of about maybe 6 months or so, take the stock at 660, look to buy anywhere at around 666, 765, and hold it, give it a time period of 6 months. Probably you will see the price of 700 to 715.20 again on the stock. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a positive view that Mr. Tulsian is taking on Amara Raja battery. Some recovery also on the stock, that's quite evident. However, no real recovery in the market. It is a slow drag, 30-odd points, 35 points down on the Nifty. Pull up some names like a Yes Bank, where the selling is now really sort of accentuating a little bit. Even on Indiabulls Housing Finance, State Bank of India, a lot of these stocks are really dragging their feet. So this is sort of where the action seems to be right now, on the way down. Also, Reliance Industries, right now no sign of buyers, but then such a big rally on RIL, can you really complain? That's the shape of today's trading action. Amrish Palika is also with us. Amrish, I'm going to ask you about Yes Bank, because it reached very tantalizing levels, breaking out of a trading range beyond several months.
Right.
Now, is this dip something that one should be buying into, or do you think this dream rally for Yes Bank is going to halt for now?
No, I think this rally should halt for a while, because the way I see it is for this March quarter, we could see some more write-offs and some more provisions. So, and I mean, as and when that figure comes out, possibly we could see a dip. I think that should be the time to buy Yes Bank and not right now.
Okay, buy Yes Bank on dip, not right now. Raymond is the other stock which is now making lows of the day. Now that will happen, right? Because the news is out now, and typical sell-on rally, sell-on news happening on that stock now. 822 is what you have on that particular stock, that real estate foray, and that news out now. So market deciding to take some profit, and the stock moving towards the low point of the day. Mr. Tulsian, how seriously should we take this SkyMet's word on Monsoon, perhaps being below estimates? We've seen some impact on stocks like Gen Irrigation. Of course, that's a different one, but even some bigger stocks like Escorts right now at low point.
See, Anuj, it is difficult to take a call and rely on this. Probably I put it in this way, that the monsoon approaches in the month of Ashad and Sawan. I'm just going by the Hindu calendar, in the pocket of Maharashtra, while it is Sawan and Bhadav in the northern space. That's why if you see the film, movie Sawan Bhadav is meant for the upper, that is northern India, and Ashad and Shravan is for the Maharashtra and all that. In Shravan, we see the fishermen again, with the end of Shravan, they again start their fishing. So Ashad starts on 18th June. I don't understand why there is so much hue and cry. We all know that the June monsoon is going to be below normal, which they say that it has a chances of 55%. Again, in fact, we don't take the call that how much percentage of the error percentage we have seen on the call having taken off El Nino, because generally there is also a thumb rule that if you have a severe winter and severe summer, then you are going to see the severe monsoon or a heavy monsoon also. So it's too early. Wait for the IMD. I won't be too perturbed. Yes, monsoon is going to get delayed with the Hindu calendar. Every third year we see one extra month coming in. Last year we have seen that, which has postponed all the festivals, everything by about maybe 20 days or so. So I won't be taking this as a too serious concerns as of now. Allow the elections results to come in. People will forget by then this monsoon forecast and all sort of things, and they should be able to digest by then. But yes, the things are known that monsoon will not hit the Kerala on or before 10th June, and then panic may start thereafter that, the monsoon is getting delayed. But I think this should be taken as a foregone conclusion, having known quite well in advance.
Okay, all right, gentlemen, stay on. We'll take a break on that note. The market's also stemmed its slide for what it's worth. We're down about 21 points on the Nifty, about 100 down on the mid-cap index. We'll take a break. This conversation continues, and don't go anywhere, because we also have a view coming in from N. Jayakumar of Prime Securities. What next for this market after touching that all-time high today?